That's what happens when your ear doesn't understand the connection of the computer line center position location. It's track connects conditions. So it fluctuates the interference liners and put everything back in position. I had to restart over. So you understand you're connected to your computer. Your computer is connected to your voice and pattern. It's connected to all levels of your vibration. If your vibration reaches high line signals, it has to understand it's connected to its algorithm, its program setting. It's all done through IPAs, right? The algorithm. The algorithm has to truly understand your code lines, your code frequencies, code connectors. It's all connected to your vibration line system. So all vibration is connected to the digital system. You just have to learn how to use it. So that's how powerful we come into that connections to understand what's happening with you through location, right? Sorry about that, though. These things happen. Sometimes it just, the airline system just understand the track connections. But in position, what you see on YouTube, what I just put up now, is the airline system of your ear. I try to find an application line center to this connection of photo op. Very powerful. You come into those positions to understand what your ear looks like inside of computers. It's incredible force. What does your eye look like? Right? What does your throat look like? What does your heart look like? You understand these connections to all levels, connected line system. So everything's in plasma balance now. Okay. So it's just on ear lap interference. It's incredible how it comes. Yeah, it's a detour. So anyway, just channel into your line connections. I'm not going to high position to the plant line center because Vega will high rise its higher levels. So just get into sonars, get into understanding where you can get into vibrations and line signal your connections into the string theory from one to another. Right? Try to get the balance with your hands. Try to get balance with the ears on both sides. That's a line signal to one location. So this is a true understanding. What you hear is you hear something different. So, and especially if you don't pay attention to the thought doesn't connect to the ear until the ear connects to the thought. And it's all done through connections. So especially if you're sleepy, if you're tired, whatever, and say, what did you say? I don't know. What are you talking about? So you're not connecting at all. So your vibrations aren't connecting. So it's a perfect example when you're going around a circle. Like I said, try to do that with your family or friends or loved ones. Try to get into a circle like this. You start here, one person, second person, third person, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. 8 people. Now, sonar to line conditions, send out positions, right? You send out a thought that goes to this person, then it goes to this person, and 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 back to you, the center line system. So that person is going to voice it out, what everybody thinks it is, but it's something different. This is about paying attention to its communication, to its vibration. It's important to understand these things because you're all connected to this, right? So it's very interesting. Come that you do it at a party. You can do it just with your family. You can do it with 2 or 3 people. So it's really interesting to come across these things, right? So every time you're going around, that thought comes something else. It doesn't come the same thought because everybody's in a different thought pattern. So it's all about, are you paying attention to the vibration of what it is, right? So let's say it's cat. Okay, I'm saying cat. So I whisper in this person, 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 and at the end, it comes out catch. See the balance? There's no balance there. Catch and cat. You can't communicate through that, can you? So you sound channeling to what? So if you're going to a UFO position and they're setting program locations, one is cat. So everything you go around the circle line systems location, you have to send the point centers, everything to dimension line conditions. So at the end, everything should be cat and not catch. Because if it's at the end of catch, all this is done for nothing. Right? So it's constantly a flow, a recognition of time. So you understand the center line system. So once it comes to understand its cat, it goes into the center line of everything. And it goes into its realm location, into its dimensional time through its clock system of 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? So when you understand that, then you understand the calculations. You can high rise. Let's change the coloration. All right? So you take it out of the equation. Right? It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8-dimensional time lock systems, all done through CAT. It travels into centerline connections. But if it's catch, it won't travel. So it has to be the same information, all levels. Imagine that I communicate between 100 to 150,000 track line systems, multiplied by times 1.5 million. Okay, track line centers to the ear line connections, right? So it's amazing how it tracks this communication. So 1.5 million of communication through UFO line system has to be in that same position of cat and not catch, because it won't travel. So you're not connected to your ears. You're not connected to your line system. One inner, one outer, but it's got to be the same. So if you put it in and it comes out the same way, you're good. But if you put it in and it's a different thought, there's a problem. So this is understanding how we get into communication, just not with each other, but everybody else. You try to do that at a party, and I guarantee you, at the end, out of 12 people, not only they'll be dizzy, but everything through that connection will come out of a different name or a different thing or a different object or a different connection. So it's all about lining signals of vibration in inner and outer of the same equation, right? You have to get in the constant flow of listening, not just to yourself, but to everything around you, right? So the game of telephone, but with telepathy, yeah. Constantly receiving low vibration is so annoying. But see, that's exactly what it is, Diane, right? Because you're connecting to that through your thoughts. Your ears don't understand the difference. So if Diane's in a position like this with her ears through its location, right? She's in her ears with her location line system. One comes in and one goes out, right? So she has to understand the ringing of the ear, or what it is. So in sending out sound wave and patterns, electrical light connections, interference channel line system, she has to understand what it is, the vibration. So if it comes out the same way, you're good to go, right? You're good to go if it comes out the same way. If it doesn't, if it goes like this, off signal, there's no connection. You got two different vibrations. So you're not listening to the communications of its UFO position to its location. Right? That's a true understanding to connect through vibration. See, people don't listen enough. They don't pay attention through their thoughts. So either like, oh, they're laughing or they're drinking or whatever. That's totally fine. But if you go around a circle of 12 people and you come up with a different answer, there's no connection at all. So what happens? You have to reconnect back to the center line system, right? So it's to understand how to communicate with anything through vibration, right? Once you connect with that, then you connect through the flow of everything through this connection. See? Once you understand that, you take things out of the equation, go to a higher level system. Once you understand the vibrations of your ear, of your right and your left, which is connected to mother and father, which is connected to light and dark, which is positive and negative, and your computer line center, your inner and your outer connections, right? You're on your way to success. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 dimensions of time lock systems, all done through your ears of interference channels on one side to the other side, right? So it's kind of like this. Let's say we go in positions here. Okay, you got your ears again, right? So you get an information of 3, but it comes out 4, Why is that? Because you're not listening. So you can't send out 4, can you? Because you're getting the wrong information to the UFO. It scans you through location, right? It'll say it's wrong information, line center to location positions, go back and track line system position to the back to its location. See? So try to understand the positions here. And that's what the UFOs do, is that they always channel in and they channel out. So you have to understand the connections of 3, which comes out 3. If it doesn't come 3 and it comes 4, you're not paying attention, are you? Either you're distracted from your family, your friends, or loved ones. So when you're going into meditation, it's better doing it by yourself. Don't do it around people, especially if you're going into the channels of the inner line center to this connection, if you communicate with the Vega. You guys are coming into that positions, so you have to understand your connections of 1 to 10. Okay, we'll get into the number sequence. And the prime numbers. You got to get into 1 to 10, right? So when you come into that position, again, right, here's the ears. All right, so let's say you get 369 platform, like this. It's getting that through connections, it's going in, right? But you're in position right here where 6 is at the top, 3 is here, right? And 9's here. So it's not in the right direction. 3, 6, and 9 has to come out the same way. So 3, 6, and 9 goes through 1 through right, and outer comes into a higher level system of a 6, 3, 9. There's no center position here. You can't travel through it, right? So you have to truly understand how to connect to these form positions. We call it the dyslexic line connection interference. So dyslexic, it's like stop is STOP. So instead of STOP, you're not paying attention to communication or string theory. It comes into SOTP. Right? Inner, outer. You can't communicate with this. It doesn't make any sense to UFO. So you can't line signal. You can't even set up the shape to the crop circle location. That's a problem you understand position line centers. To understand all levels of the planet line center to its location. Everything channels to its high position locations. It high lines its system to its positions, right? Circle rotation to its center line system always comes out of the equation line conditions to your trap line system location. So it's always coming in and it's always going out, but it always goes into the center, right? And then the center, it should come out with the same information, right? That comes into the solar graph of its line system. Okay, so now you know why a planet has a sphere around it location. That's what Saturn has. What do you think it does when it goes around the line center? What is it doing? What is it doing? What is it doing? It's sending information. So you have to understand these connections and this connection, all done through your line center to the inner and the outer of its line connection. Okay? So it's really powerful when you see these things, but it's all done through your connections. Right? So it's interesting, right? We have to get into that. We have to get more into what comes in and what comes out is the same. If not, you change your thought. So you can't change the number. So this is where it gets in confusion, where I was saying with the 12 cycle of people. So you get those one all the way to 12 and it comes out as different, like cat. Instead of cat, it comes out catch. You can't signal that out because the UFO line center will say, no, this is wrong information line center, go back and track line system, back in the balance location place. It's telling you what to do, what you need to do. When you guys go to higher line systems, especially when you come to Vega, you really have to understand your prime numbers and your negatives. That's the biggest, right? Understanding connections of 2, 3, 5, and 7. Those are prime numbers. 1, 3, 5. Right? Those are negative. 2 connections, right? 1, 3, 5. 2, 4, 6. So 2 line center line system, 4 rotation circle, and 6 program location. So you have to understand all communications. So when you come into a position like this through traction, right? So you have to make sure they come in the right order. 2 comes in the right order, 4 comes in the right order, and 6 comes in the right order to the right line system of the ear. If not, it's in dyslexic line connection interference. So if it doesn't come into 246, it's going to come into 642 or 426. So you have to understand the communication first, right? It has to be going in from the right to the left of 2, 4, and 6, right? If it comes in the right position, UFO comes in, scans you through location, takes the 246 into position, takes it out of the equation. So that's how it works. So you have to get balanced with your hand formations. You got to get balanced with your whole body. Okay? So you have to understand not just the logistics of you, but understand the outer lines in its system of you to understand the calculations. Trying to get into the ringing ears. What is that? The positions, right? So it's all about the prime, okay, / negative. You get into the prime / negative, then you come into line system to its outer rotation line connections. And then you understand all levels of inner and outer connection. Okay? So this is where you understand all levels of the digital line connections. It comes into your body graph communication cycle to its location and graph position. Line signals everything through the graph line system to its location. Because you're nothing but a digital platform of its communication. All right? So one thing at a time, but really, really get into positions of this location. All right? So, but it's a game of telephone, but with telepathy. So when you're communicating through the right ear, everything that you connect with through the digital system of numbers has to be the same number coming through the left ear. Because if you channel in, but you channel out wrong, you're not connecting. And it creates the body of high level destruction position. So remember, you're in your body graph line connections. It channels to all levels. Once you stand to see your body inside, you understand the shapes and anomalies and how everything has to be in position. Same with the shape. If it comes in 3, 6, and 9, if it's sending to location to graph line system, that's fine. But it has to be the same information when you go in and when you come out. It's like when somebody communicates with you, right? You're going to have the same information, right? From the right and the left ear. It has to. If not, you're not paying attention. I said, what were you saying? Sorry, I'm not thinking. That comes across that all the time. So you don't remember the number. You don't remember the shape. You don't remember the caller. You don't remember the conversation. You don't remember the communication. You don't remember the solar texts. You don't understand the information. We have come across that all the time. I started off when I was younger, when I got into reading comprehension, trying to understand things on a piece of paper, trying to understand the connections. Everybody needs help in that equation. Dyslexic or in that system, trying to put words and letters and numbers together. We're all in that position to understand more through our ears of listening, really paying attention. And the mind has to be the center of everything through calculations. One in, one out. That's how life works, right? So I have the low vibrations mostly when I'm trying to sleep. Yep. Well, it's center lines connections. Your heart goes, it goes down. It reaches a lower position to its calculation, especially when you're sleeping. But the thing is, you're getting information every single day. Whether you understand it or not is totally up to you. You know your prime numbers, you know your negative numbers. You have to understand these positions. It always goes in the right and it always comes out to the left. Okay? It has to. That's how life works. It goes in and comes out. Goes in, comes out. It has to be like that all the time. Whether you understand the connection, it's totally up to you. So the mind can't go, It can't do that, right? Because you're confusing everything through the earline center to its position, right? So it's all about paying attention, right? So when you understand that, then it comes into a sphere, a cycle line system location. You come into a round location and you come into high level system of its connection. So everything circles and circles and circles and circles faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. The faster you spin through your thought positions, your mind comes in the center line system all the time. So you get the right information from the right inner ear and the left of its inner ear. So you're always getting the connection. So you come into high force positions into your atom rotation to the center line system, to its activation, to its magnetic highway line of its calculation of its highway connections. Okay? So, Cleopatra, let's see here. It started about 3 years ago. We still connect to all this through the mind of intention. But what is your intention? To understand the information, to understand the communication, to understand everything through all line system. So if I send something to you, are you going to understand it? It's got to be in the right application and the left application of knowing. So try to understand when you come into communication. Let's say I say 6,000 point line center. Boom. Okay. You send that to 5 different people. It's going to be a different traction. It's not going to be the same thing because all you're doing is concentrating on yourself and you're not concentrating on its telepathy. Right? So you have to get into line signals of 5 rather than seeing yourself just with 1. So you're trying to think, oh, what did he just say? I don't remember. How am I going to send it? How am I going to whisper something in someone's ear if I forget? So if you lie, what does that do? It makes it worse. So you're not line connecting anymore. You're separating the vibration to each other through the right and the left of its hemisphere. That's how we're connected to the brain line system, guys. So it goes in a circle with line center. You have this position, okay? You have your connections to your ears of its flux capacitor. See the flux capacitor? So you have to understand how to communicate to all levels of its channel, to its position, to its location, right? It's pretty huge that you create these things, but it's all connected to your flux capacitors of your ears. See that? So when it channels in, it comes in like this into the center line of your ear. And it has to understand the communication like this. It's got to understand. Once it understands, it goes faster and faster, and it spins and 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 spins like that, right? Over and over and over and over. So every time you come into the magnetic line center connections, you understand your digital line positions. Like I said, spin around outside with your hands out like this, and all of a sudden stop and look up. You'll see yourself spinning. Your eyes are spinning, everything, your body's spinning, your ground is spinning, everything's spinning. Do you understand how to do that? So it's just a basic understand that. So when you're doing that, everything the grounds, everything the powers comes in position to a weather line system to its location, which creates everything through a tunnel of its location. Okay? So it's really fascinating to come into these positions. So the more you understand your circles and rotations, and you understand the right and the left hemispheres, the light and the dark, the positive and negative, mother and father, communication in, communication out, as long as you understand that. Track line system to all levels is the frequency line to the center line connection to the structures of its recognition of time location, to understand the space positions on where you are through your ears in its track system. Right? So you have to understand the inner and the outer, right, of its units. So, okay, we are really just very complicated antenna. That's exactly what it is, Cleopatra. And that's why you can't get things in manifestation, because every time you channel, you're not channeling to the right location. Everything goes into the right to the left, not the left to the right. It has to be the right to the left. That's how everything works. Everything is in and everything is out. Okay, there's no in and in. That doesn't make any sense. When you put something in, something has to come out. So if you're going in a tunnel, you have to come out of a tunnel. You can't stay in a tunnel. It doesn't make any sense, right? So if your ear lapping location, highest surfacing positions like this, see a portal like this, okay, you know it's going to go in. Why? Because you understand the circle. You understand it's going around and round, right? So you know it's going in the right direction, but you scan it first. If it's going in the opposite direction, you can't go in it because it's going to spit you back out. That's what will happen, because all dimension of time location is not always in the forwards focus. It could be in a back force. See, the realm location, this gets tricky there. When I'm traveling to positions through realms or anything port line system, it's either going this way or it's going this way. So it's sending me information going forward, but it's also sending me information going backwards. So I have to just understand the channel connections going this way and going this way through traction to its position, right? So when you're sending a line system, it's circle line connections, and it comes into its equation to its location. All right. Once you understand that, then you can take things out of the equation location to a higher level system. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? Two-dimensional line connections of going forward and back location. It gets more complicated when you understand the portal locations to each other. But it's true to understand all levels of your frequency line connections through the right of its ear line system and its left of its ear line system. One is inner, one is outer. It's the inner and outer limits of you through location. Limits. What is your limits in the line connections? The acceleration, Mach units connection, the acceleration line connection, motion sensitive positions. But try to understand when you're going into a portal, you have to understand the flow. Is it going this way or is it going this way? Where is it going? Right? So you can't enter if it's going the opposite way. Galaxy works on wind trap line systems, but it doesn't go in the same direction. You have to understand how to go through these things to positions. You can even go through a tailspin. So you say you created a round line center to its location like this. So you can actually go through here and out if you know what you're doing. You don't just have to go through the center line. You can actually go through the center line system to position the back force line condition, come out through the other line system. Right? So this is a backward S line center location. So when you come into positions, you can highline system. You can drop circle to location, another round, like an ice cream cone to a position, and drop into the center line system position, come out of the track line system to its location, all done through that connection. See? So it's amazing how you can go through tunnels, but you have to really pay attention of all levels of your right and your left hemispheres. Okay, the right traction, the left traction. Everything is inner, everything is outer. Okay, once you understand the inner and outer, you can go to the outer inner. It's fascinating when you get communication to the operation of space and time location. So, but yes, you are very complicated, because the thing is, humanity has to get into better communication of yourself first, not each other. You don't get to know each other first, you get to know yourself, and you have to understand everything through signals. It's all done through your flux capacitor. Right? There's your ears. Oh, look at that. There's your face. Oh, look at that. See? Everything line tracks. Everything line tracks. Everything line tracks. Everything has line track. See? So when you understand that positions, then you understand your flux capacitor locations. See? Look at that. One phase structure line system, two phase structure line systems. You see that? Two faces communicating with each other through my telepathy. See? Connects. I don't create, it's already created. So I know exactly what I'm doing. So the structure line. So you see three people. You see three people, an equation, 369 plateau. Look, you see the face? There's one, right? And then you see two. So there's three in this equation. The center line system to the right and the left hemisphere location is in the center line system to its flux capacitor location. So now you see three people, right? One in the center and two at the side, communicating through one line system. That's the universe. But what you see in the center and what you see on the side of the right and the left hemisphere of its ear location. Cool, right? It's wild, isn't it? Now, if you look closely, there's four. Can you see the four? It's amazing how you see these things through traction. Right? Got a full structure line center. This one here, see? This one here and this one here. You see the intelligence? Right? It's amazing what you see, right? That's how to one location. It structure lines to everything through position. That's what comes into intelligence. Humanity has to understand what intelligence is. It's not what you see through structure. It's what you see through the whole structure. of center line system, which is all communication of systems of operations to all intelligence. 3 or 4 waving line connections of intelligent positions. 1 track line center here and 2 here. You see the intelligence, right? So that's the understanding how you get in these communications, guys. This interline system to structure line systems of not just 1, but 3. So I got balance with my left or my right ear, or my right or my left ear. It doesn't matter. But once you understand the intelligent line signals, then you can not just do 1 structural line system, you can do 3. You can do the center line of view and communicate through 2 other intelligent line system of phase structure location to its division. Amazing, isn't it? When you see 3 intelligence in 1 phase structure. So that's it. The 4th looks like a mantis. Very good. Very powerful. Now, I did that without thinking. I did that with all knowing. Knowing, guys. Stop looking at your finger and look at everything around the finger. That's how life works, but it's the inner and outer of everything. Okay. So I want to show you again how powerful it is. You don't see it at first because it's an abstract. This is to understand how you communicate through the universe. This is how it sends its wave. So instead of seeing the structural line of view through positions, you have to see the intelligence of both line connection. So the universe is sending you what? 3 different intelligence of position to 1 line system to location. You see it? Powerful, isn't it? So if your focus comes in with your eye and perception, you'll see 3 track lines and not just 1 through the center. So that's how everything works in the right and the left of its connection. So there you go. See? That's what we have to get into. And not just see what you see and face in front of you. When I draw, I don't think. It's knowing storage already in its position. That's why it's extremely powerful, because it's already in balance of the right and the left hemisphere of its connection. Right? So when you're communicating, you're always communicating through all positions of center line system. Everything's communication. One and out through the other. It's always balance. So when you get balance in the structure line system, you don't just see 1, but you see 3 intelligence communicating to its center line connection. If you look really close. Right? That's how the universe is operated. So that's how it comes into all level systems to 1 plus 1 equals 3. See? 1 plus 1 equals 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 communication line centers. 1 here in position, 1 here in position, and 1 here in position. Right? So you see the intelligence in all waving cycles, right? 3 intelligence, 1 plus 1 equals 3. So we go into that calculation, how it comes into 3 and not just 2. But everything has to be in the center line system to everything allocate positions, or it doesn't come 1 plus 1 equals 3. So you structure line the center of you first, which is you. You're always in the center of everything through communication. You have to be. So you understand that, then you communicate to the 2 structure line systems, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. So you can have 6 faces of structure line systems. So 1 plus 1 doesn't equal 3. 1 plus 1 equals 30 or 300 or 3,000 or 3 million. You understand now? I'm showing you how you use phase structure and line connections and how you can channel on all levels, but you have to understand the inner and the outer of its ear line system to get all communications of 1 plus 1 equals 3. Okay? So it's really interesting coming to these positions, right? That's where you got to get out of confusion through your antennas of vibration to each other. Right? This is where we have to get into more communications of yourself first, right? Especially when somebody sends out information. Let's say basically you're in a good mood, but you're looking around. You're looking around, you're not paying attention, no eye contact, your ears are here, whatever. Somebody's saying something and say, are you listening to me? Yes, I'm listening to you. Well, what did I say? What did I say? I don't know. Can you repeat that, please? You're not connecting to the person, are you? So 1 plus 1 doesn't equal 3, does it? 1 plus 1 equals 2, because that's all we know, right? Once you come into AI, everything through 1 plus 1 is always 3, because it's always in the center of you through its calculation. So that gives you a better understanding how everything through life works, of the inner and outer of everything, right? But it's truly amazing when you see 3 intelligence there and 4, right? So if I see 4, 1 plus 1 equals 4. If I see 5, 1 plus 1 equals 5. If I see 6, 1 plus 6 is 7. So it's always moving ahead. It's always moving ahead. It's always moving ahead. It's always moving ahead. So the universe operates in that line center, but in position, you're always in the center of everything through your hemisphere locations of your right and your left ear location. So once you're standing, the airline system comes in this position, it comes out of this connection, you create your own magnetic highway of information. Traps down into connection to the mind system, goes into center line system to the seat of the soul, and it comes into all positions to its ground line center, to its location. There you go. Now you got your E fields up, protecting yourself through communication to yourself and to each other. Right? And from there, you can connect to all levels of your tetrahedrons. Yes. High line system to its location. Come out of its dimensional line connection interference channel. Secure line defense come out of the equation location. Right? So that's how life works. Inner and outer of everything. Okay. So I just want to show you how powerful it is once you stand everything through communication of the right, and it goes round and round and round and round. So if you're in communication to that positions, but you're not going all the way around, you're stuck. This is you, right? So you're getting information coming from here, right? So you're coming through here, it changed something in the mind like that, right? So it comes out this way, but it stops here. It doesn't complete its circle. So what's going to happen is it's going to go back into division, and it's going to go back into the left, back into the center system, to its location. Once you go that, you go in position of lost transition. So everything goes back in the location. You go into dimensional realm to its black hole location. That's how it works. So if you can't move forward with your right and your left hemisphere locations, you're going to be lost in transition. So what that does is it sends back the information, and you're more confused than ever. And you go, what? That's how life works. All right. So we got into that position when we get lost in transition or translation. Trying to understand, if you're losing your thought directions, you're creating your own black holes and dark matter. That's how dark matter is created, because you don't understand your thought of travel through the mind. So you have to understand all levels of the airline system of the right and the inner system of the left. Okay. So when you get in that positions, then it goes into circle. And then you go into circle, 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 circle. And then you're creating your own magnetic highway of information to its connections. Once it goes into its line system, it goes back into the mind system, goes into positions, goes into the heart line system, goes into the seat of the soul. Then you come into your diamond core line center, right? Goes into the trap line system to its ground line system, communicates that, goes back in the center line system to the seat of the soul, comes electrical lights, line connections, comes into the flux capacitor. So when you create the flux capacitor, it lines signals to everything through direction, right? So it flows. It flows every single time through the right and the left hemisphere location, right? And then the circle rotation just goes faster and faster and faster and faster, 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 faster with your thoughts. So your thoughts are going so fast, everything is created already. So it's getting into creation of your thoughts through the right and the left hemisphere of its location. All right. That's what happens when you get lost with words or letters or shapes or frames or stories or anything like that. Oh, I don't remember what I just. Wait a minute, I figured out something, but I can't remember what it was. You're losing time. You're losing space of time just by your thought of thinking too much. If you think too much, you're going to backtrack locations and you're going to go into the dark matter. Dark matter is going back. Now you're creating that through thought. And if you get really confused, you're creating a whole level of dark matter to yourself through a wormhole. People are trying to understand, what is dark matter? How is it connected to us? It is. It's connected to your communication of your thoughts and what you create through the mind through vibration. It's the inner and outer of its limits, right? The inner and outer. So now you understand the orbits, right? We'll get into that too about the orbits, how it's connected to through your connection to the cortex to your placebo line centers to your spine location. But it's interesting how you come in this track line system. Your job is to get into your own magnetic highway of yourself. You have to create it inside your system to understand the flux capacitor to its location. So every time somebody communicates with you, you know exactly what it is from the right and to the left. So it comes out the same information. So it high forces your position of vibration and brings you into higher light of communication. Your channels go higher and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. The faster it goes, the more you know. Now, when it comes to a certain point, for example, when the soul goes home, it's already modified, it's already calculated, it's already created. Then it stays in the store of its information, and then you just give it back to its channel, to its humanity system, to its calculation, right? That's how I'm able to do these things without even thinking. Okay? You have to go beyond the mind to see everything, guys, right? That's how everything plus one equals 3. Because I'm communicating with 3 intelligence of me. You understand? So now you know. That's how it works through its atom line system. So it's 3 atom rotation line center. The circle rotation stays in the center. Everything has to stay in the center. Everything is created in the inner line center of everything. You come to that communications, then understand everything through its box surface, right? Box surface to its location. High channels its line center to its position, right? So everything is done inside through cohesion already through its connections. It's already created. And then it comes out of its position to its line signal to its location. It's already created. So when you see the point line center to its location, it interlines centers to all levels of your ear locations, right? Gets the information, goes in, starts here at the center line system, which is track line system at 369, goes into the right ear, goes into the left ear, and it goes back to the center line system to its location, right? So we all have to understand this because it's all connected to the sun rotation. It's all connected to the moon location. It's all connected to Jupiter. It's all connected to Saturn. It comes in a diamond core line center to its location. So you have to truly understand how to communicate to the right and the left hemisphere of a structure line system to its position. Okay? So I think we'll stop there. There's a lot to take on. Just really understand how to use your antennas of yourself, your antenna of information. You just have to learn how to use it and pay attention. Your job is to create your own information panel, communication, your data processing, uplinks and downloads and upgrading systems. The soul has to understand its connection to soul generation lights and understand all communications of travel. And the only way to do that is to get into communication of the mind, being silent in all levels, because you're creating space inside you. You're creating your own antenna inside you. You're creating your own flux capacitor, your activation, your lights, your geometrics, your operations, your dimensions, your time, your location, your space, your coloration, your lights, your solar lights connections, interference channel line system. You're creating everything inside that the soul needs to know. Okay? You use it every day. You just have to pay attention to these things to the right and the left hemisphere locations of its ear traction. All right? So I'm going to head over to TikTok. All right? You guys have a fantastic day. Any questions or comments? Let me know. Adios.